Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Mr. Waffles here. Welcome back to another video.
Ah yes, Fall Guys. A true man's game.
In man's country.
So recently, I just came from console. I switched to PC in December, and today I'll be talking about whether you should switch to console or PC.
And before Joe only goes after console players, you can be PC through and through and still say some really misleading things. Regardless, though, I welcome you to the land of the living.
There is a huge war going on about which one is better. Is PC better or console better?
Yes, that's been going for a while now.
So today we'll be looking at the pros and the cons of PC and console. So without further ado, let's get to it. Make sure you like and subscribe and join my Discord down below. Let's do this, guys.
Should I make a Discord? Like, is that a thing people want? Genuinely asking, because if people actually want me to do that, I'll do it. At first I didn't realize that this was like his intro video, like you know how I have the opening crawl, he has like an opening animation thing, and I just started laughing when the screen changed because it just said Roblox. I'm just gonna start sending this screenshot to people when I'm done talking to them or I want to change the subject or something.
Round 1. Price. Let's start off with the console prices. You could get a normal Xbox for $149 starting at its lowest price.
Whoa, bump the brakes there. This video is from 2022. This year, the current year. Who the freaking heck is going out and buying a goddamn launch Xbox One? And frankly, $150 is overpriced for this thing in the current year, and I'm not even being hyperbolic about that. I've said many times that I still have my launch Xbox One, and that it's basically just sitting in my living room and as a streaming machine now. I very rarely play games on that thing, but I actually recently decided to give it another try. I thought to myself, maybe I'm being too harsh on the Xbox One, maybe I should give it another shot. So I installed Jedi Fallen Order, and I shit you not when I say it is borderline unplayable. The frame drops are fucking insane. It cannot hold a stable 30 to save its life. The input delay is so noticeable and so disorienting. The textures are pure shit. And everything has this weird, grainy, shiny effect that looks like I'm playing the game after I rubbed my eyes really hard. And no, I'm not talking about motion blur, by the way. That's its own problem. And before you say, oh, the game runs better on the upgraded consoles, I don't care. He's not talking about the upgrades. He's talking about the launch console, which is pure garbage, especially in the current year. Fuck, my wife's been playing Goat Simulator on that thing, and even that game can't hold a stable 30 without the screen tearing. Like, how do you fuck up Goat Simulator? And yes, she is my wife now. We got married over the weekend, finally. Everyone say congratulations in the comments, or you're banned. The point I'm trying to make is if you're using the launch Xbox One as an argument against modern PC gaming simply because of the price tag, you are sorely misleading people. This machine simply is not viable in modern gaming. The Xbox One was left behind years ago. That's why it's so much cheaper than everything else.
The Xbox Series X, the newest one that just came out, is $299 base price.
That's a Series S, not a Series X. Like, really?
And the Xbox Series S comes up to $500 base price.
My brother in Christ, that's literally backwards.
The PS4, the regular PS4, is $300 according to PlayStation.
The base PS4 doesn't fare much better than the base Xbox One, just saying. Do not pay $300 for a PS4 in the current year. That's way overpriced.
And the PS5 is also the same price as the Xbox Series X, aka $500.
There you go, you got it that time. The Series X and PS5 are $500, market price at least. Have fun actually getting them at that price. The Series S is pretty easy to find for the market price of $300, which is the same price that Sony is apparently still putting on the PS4, which is more than a little conceited on their part. Assuming those screenshots are legit and not out of date, which I'm honestly just too tired to go fact check. My point is, if Sony is still pricing the PS4 at $300, that's really fucking tone deaf when most people can't even get a PS5 at market price.
The next gen console gives you up to 120 FPS, 4K gaming, and custom SSDs. Remember, if you want to play 120 FPS on the consoles, you need to have a 4K TV and you need to have a 120 Hz TV.
Holy hell, there was a lot wrong there. First of all, 4K 120 is a rarity on the consoles, even the high-end ones. You should be expecting 1440p 120 at the absolute best, and if you're talking 4K, most games are shooting for 60. Yes, the PS5 and Series X are capable of displaying at 4K, and they're capable of displaying 120 frames per second, but they very rarely do those two things at the same time. I can't even think of any games off the top of my head that do that. It's also worth noting that Microsoft and Sony's definition of 4K is usually dynamic or checkerboarded instead of actually being true 4K resolution. And what's this about needing a 4K monitor to play at 120 FPS? Resolution literally has nothing to do with that. If you want to play 120 FPS and get the most out of it, you just need a monitor or a TV with a 120 refresh rate, or higher if you want some wiggle room. Are you sure you actually play on PC? Like, you're absolutely positive you do this?
For a cheap price, meaning you could play your favorite games at a decent frame rate and enjoy high 4K gaming.
Define decent frame rate. Also, define high 4K gaming, because I legit have no clue what that means. Insert marijuana joke here.
Now let's go to PC pricing. On the other hand, it's PCs, it depends on your specs. Low-end PCs could cost anywhere to $400 to $900.
I mean, $900 seems high for a low-end PC, but let's just see where you're going with this.
Mid gaming PCs are $1,000 to $1,500.
This is so arbitrary. Like, genuinely, what is the point of this? When you put price ranges on PCs, you just date your video.
And high-end PCs are $1,500 and above, depending on your specs.
You know why this argument is so dumb? Because by this logic, a PC with a 3070 would have been considered high-end like 6 months ago, but now that the 30 series cards have come down in price, that same exact PC would be considered mid-range, even though literally nothing about it changed. Also, what if I bought, quote, high-end parts, but I got them used, so I paid less? Does that make my PC mid-level now? What about a PC that was built in 2018, but that suddenly got more resale value during the hardware shortages? Does that mid-level PC now suddenly become high-end because of the resale price? You see the point I'm making here? It's so arbitrary to put labels like high-end or low-end on the PC just based on the price to entry when literally all of the variables are fluid. It's just a very shallow way of looking at the PC market, and it really makes me question, again, how much you actually know about these things. It's also worth noting that if you're someone who likes to play older games, or maybe you like less graphically demanding games, or maybe you're still playing at 1080p, nothing wrong with that at all, a mid-level PC will do you just fine. In fact, if you're that kind of gamer, a mid-level PC will do you better than the console, because those games that you're playing will come with more technical capabilities than the console version will ever have, despite being a, quote, mid-level PC. You see why this arbitrary division of PCs is so unhelpful? It may sound like I'm harping on this, but it really drives me insane when console dudes bring out the low, high, mid-end PC argument, because if you don't know any better, this is what can push you away from switching to PC. A gaming PC can cost you anywhere from $500 to $5,000. It all just depends on where you buy your parts, how you buy your parts, and what you actually want that machine to do for you. I'm never going to deny that a gaming PC is normally going to cost you more than a console, but making the pricing argument like this is so unhelpful because it's one of the biggest misconceptions about the platform as a whole. This idea that PCs come in price tiers with different power rankings is just so silly, and it goes against what the platform is actually about.
This includes your CPU, your GPU, which is the most important part of your PC.
I mean, I would argue the CPU is the most important part of the PC. Like, your computer can run without a GPU, but you're not doing anything without a CPU.
Your power supply, aka PSW.
Wait, I thought it was PSU.
Your storage, your SSDs and your hard drives, HDDs, and your RAM. And any other upgrades like your CPU, cooler, RGB fans, and so much more.
Potential upgrades shouldn't be included with the price of a PC. That's nonsense. That's like saying the Xbox Series S is actually $800 because eventually you might want to upgrade to the Series X.
Let me explain. A low-end PC can have something trash like a GT 710 or a GTX 1050.
Ooh, I used to have a GTX 1050. That was actually the first card I ever had in my gaming PC. So you better be really correct about what you're about to say, because I have extensive knowledge of this card. And the fact that you called it trash is already starting things off on the wrong foot. Like, yeah, the GTX 1050 is nothing special today, but for its time, it was a fantastic card for 1080p.
A mid-gaming PC can have something cool like a RTX 260, the graphics card I have, and a high-end PC can have something like a RTX 360 Ti and above.
Did you just say the 3060 Ti is high-end? Like, not only does this go against the whole arbitrary division system that you just set up, but in what universe is the 3060 Ti considered particularly high-end right now, like compared to everything else on the market? Like, you realize there are a number of cards in the 30 series that are significantly more powerful than the 3060 Ti, right? Or would that just break the whole narrative you're making here?
Anything over $600 is way too expensive for me.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but you can do better than a 3060 Ti for $600. A used 3070 will run you way less than $600. Shit, you could probably get a brand new 3070 for less than $600 right now. Reminder that he uploaded this video in July of 2022. There's no excuse for information this wrong.
PC pricing is overkill, so I'm gonna have to get this round to console, because console prices are so much cheaper, and you can have the decent amount of frames rate you want at a cheap price.
Did you just say a decent amount of frame rate you want? Aside from that making no sense, it misses the point entirely. On the console, you don't get to choose your frame rate. You don't get to choose what you want. You get what Microsoft and Sony give you, and you're not allowed to change it or make it better without going through them first and paying a bunch of additional money. Again, I'm not denying that gaming PCs are more expensive than consoles, but when you misrepresent things so dramatically, you push more people away from the platform, and it's really fucking obnoxious.
Let me explain. If I were Best Buy, Micro Center, or Walmart, where you'll pretty much buy a PC from...
I've literally never bought any PC parts from any of those places. Stop looking at this like a console peasant. You're not one of them anymore. You're with us. You don't have to go to the big, brand-approved superstores in order to get your parts. You don't have to work within the confines of fucking Daddy Sony or Papa Microsoft. You can do things however you want. That's kind of the whole appeal.
I will put low-end PCs $300 to $600, mid PCs $700 to $1,000, and high-end PCs $1,000 to $200.
That is completely different from what you said a minute ago.
But the COVID messed up everything in price, so it makes all the GPUs out of stock. If you guys know, if you're trying to buy a GPU back when COVID started, everyone's just buying GPUs out of nowhere. There's barely no GPUs. Like they'll give you like the most trash GPU, like a GT 710 or something.
I mean, aside from this being a bit oversimplified, it's also outdated. The GPU market is very rapidly returning to pre-COVID status, hence the point I made about 3070 cards a minute ago. And now that the GPU shortages are coming to an end, I can't wait to see how the rest of the economy gets back on its feet. Oh.
Like you couldn't get nothing like a RTX or something like that.
I literally got multiple RTX cards after COVID broke out. Again, buy used. Don't go to the big stores for your parts. If you've never experienced the gaming market outside of the console ecosystem, it's understandable why you didn't do this, but it's never too late to learn. And just because you didn't do things a certain way doesn't mean that that way doesn't exist or doesn't work for tons of other people. If you're looking to build a PC, start with places like Newegg or OfferUp, or find your local Facebook market group or whatever those are called now. I deleted Facebook like 3 years ago. There's literally nothing wrong with buying PC parts used. In fact, I recommend it. Because of how many possible parts there are for people to buy on the PC, it means people are constantly changing out parts, which means there are a ton of used parts in great condition ripe for the taking. If you don't want to buy PC parts at market price, just don't do that. It truly is that simple.
It was insane, chat. If you want to buy a PC and have the RGB upgrade, save up and go for it. But if you're in a rush and want 4K gaming, 120 FPS, fast, get the new gen console. Is way cheaper. So console gets 1 point and PC gets 0 points.
Again, with the notion that the console can do 4K 120, that just isn't a widespread feature, and you seem to think that it is.
Congratulations. Round 2, ability to play with your friends. If you play on the same console as your friends and you want to play together, you can invite them over to your house, you can connect your controllers, and you can play with them on the same screen.
Oh good, the split screen argument.
Never heard that one before.
Meanwhile, PC has apps like Steam, Rockstar Games Launcher, Epic Games, and stuff like that where you can add your friends and play with them. But the issue is PC is all solo.
It literally isn't.
So you can't play split screen on one monitor or one TV, whichever you're using for your PC.
I mean, props for acknowledging that you can use a PC on a TV, but I'm gonna have to take that prop right back because split screen absolutely exists on PC. If a game has a split screen option on console, there's a pretty solid chance that option exists on PC as well. Local multiplayer on PC isn't this rarity that you have to go hunting for. I don't even know where this narrative started. Aside from all the recent games that have local multiplayer on PC, we also have all the emulators that have local multiplayer options. When I used to live in Washington, I frequently had my cousins come over and play Melee and Mario Party on my PC through Dolphin. It truly was that simple. You just plug controllers in. But that's all besides the point because this really isn't a slam dunk argument. What if you just don't play local multiplayer games that much? What if this just isn't a deal breaker for you when considering what gaming platform to buy?
There's only one keyboard and one mouse, meaning that you have to play by yourself unless someone else wants to play with you. But the issue is no split screen. So the only way you'll be able to play together is if you send friend requests. Like, say for example, if you want to play like Call of Duty Black Ops on Steam, you couldn't come over to your house and play with them.
I mean, I'm 99% positive I can play Black Ops split screen on PC. I think it depends on which Black Ops you're talking about. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're not talking about Black Ops 1, because using Black Ops 1 as an argument against the PC 12 years after the game came out is just bizarre.
You'll have to like have your own PC at home, and you'll just have to add them on Steam just so you can play Call of Duty with them.
You do not have to Steam add everyone you play games with. Matchmaking exists. Open lobbies exist. Session joining exists. If it weren't for the Fall Guys gameplay in the background, I would just assume you made this video in 2005 with the way you're talking about the PC.
So, yeah. Unless you want to play your house. So this round goes to console again. So console get 2 points and PC is still at 0 points.
When you frame the arguments in an utterly lopsided way, you can turn any comparison into a favorable one. I consider high-end PCs to be $1,500 and higher, therefore console gaming is more affordable. I don't know anything about how PC multiplayer works, therefore console is more accessible. We changed the definition of a recession, therefore we are not in one. Yikes, 2 political jokes in a Joe from Seattle video. Things must be really fucking bad right now.
Round 3 is graphics. This is a tricky round due to the new PS5 and Xbox Series X having amazing graphics.
Are they new? I mean, they've been out for close to 2 years now. And yeah, the graphics are pretty nice on the new consoles, I'm not denying that, but how do those graphics look in motion? How does the picture hold up when things start moving around and the explosions start exploding everywhere?
The 4K and everything makes it the cherry on top. Same thing for PC. Depending on your specs, you can make GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 look like real-life masterpieces with max settings.
Well, those and all the other games. You can make pretty much anything look good on PC with the right settings, or the right mods, depending on the game. I've been really enjoying playing older games recently, stuff from like the PS3 and 4 era, Dark Souls 1, Dead Space 1, Gears of War 4, and I'm planning on going through The Witcher 3 again once the big update drops later this year. Playing older games on the PC is so much fun because the games run so much better and they look absolutely incredible. And it makes the experience so much more enjoyable and immersive. Even games that weren't particularly pretty or visually impressive, like Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, they look great on PC with max settings and a higher FOV. Seriously, the 360 era of Call of Duty looked pretty good for its time, and playing Plutonium has really made me appreciate how well designed some of these games are from a visual and gameplay perspective. Oh, fuck, and I just remembered Spider-Man's on PC now. I need to pick that up. I'm sure people were expecting me to be, salivating over Spider-Man when the PC port dropped, but I honestly forgot that happened because I was out of town, getting married. It sure would be rad if somebody donated $60 as a wedding gift so I could buy Spider-Man.
I used to play on console, and the graphics on some games was eh. Most games on consoles are capped to 60 FPS, which is okay, and it runs very smoothly at times.
Well, unless you want more than that, in which case you're just shit out of luck. It's almost like having limited graphical options is a bad thing.
But the PC settings make your games look seriously better. Like, come on, you gotta admit, Red Dead Redemption 2 looks absolutely stunning on PC. You keep in mind, guys, sometimes you won't be able to get a stable 60 FPS, and that's okay on PC because I don't always get a stable 60 FPS on some games, but as long as it's playable for me, chat, I have no problem with the game at all.
Wait. If an inconsistent 60 FPS is fine, why did you use 120 as a selling point earlier in the video?
And that's okay. But would you rather have good graphics or low graphics?
Depends on the game. Depends what the frame rate is like. Stop dumbing down all these topics. It's really unhelpful.
Let me know down below. PC gets 1 point and console is still at 2 points. Congratulations.
I mean, I'm not complaining that we got a point. I'm just really confused as to how the fuck it happened.
Round 4 is games. PlayStation has exclusive games like Uncharted, Spider-Man, God of War, and much more. Meanwhile, Xbox has exclusive games like Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5, Halo, and most of all, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Let's play a fun game called How Many of These Games Are Actually Console Exclusive? For the PlayStation, you listed Uncharted, Spider-Man, and God of War, and for the Xbox, you listed Forza, Halo, and Flight Simulator. At the time that you made this video, literally every single one of these games was either available on PC or confirmed to be coming to the PC. Literally every single one of them. It's almost impressive how wrong you are in this video. Good lord.
I'm super impressed that both PlayStation and Xbox have great exclusive games, but PC on the other hand does a fantastic job of games.
Wasn't expecting that, but you may continue.
Not only can you play PlayStation games and Xbox games on the same platform, but you have a whole ass collection of Steam games for you to play. And people might not know this, but PC games are way cheaper than console games. I don't know the reason behind this, but it's great.
Well, it's because of the nature of the market. The PC is not owned by any one company, so there's no big corporate incentive to keep game prices high over here. We have multiple digital storefronts and a really big key marketplace, so prices just naturally get pushed down quicker after games come out. Plus, the sheer number of games available on the PC means publishers need to keep up with the rule of supply and demand. On console, they can get away with $70 games because that's just how much Sony and Microsoft want you to pay. But on the PC, why would I drop $70 for a game when I could get it cheaper on a key marketplace, or wait for a sale on one of the storefronts that it's available on? And since less people are buying PC games at full price, that drives the market price of the game down. See how consumer-friendly things are when there's actual competition between platforms and publishers?
You also have realistic games you can't play on console. This includes American Truck Simulator, Osme 2, Police Simulator Patrol Officers, 5M, which is real GTA RP, Rigs and Rods, and so much more.
I sometimes wonder if the people who make these kinds of videos just line up a bunch of PC exclusives and throw a dart. Like, no shade to any of these games, but why are these the ones you use to represent PC exclusives? Last week I had a dude use Baldur's Gate 2 as their big PC exclusive, and like, no shade to Baldur's Gate 2, it's just a weird choice.
PC wins because you are able to play your most favorite games on one platform and having realistic games that console doesn't have. So PC has 2 points and console has 2 points. Congratulations.
Woo!
Round 5 is even more pros and cons of console and PC.
Well, yeah, that's how a list works.
Let's start off with the pros of console. Ease of use, all you have to do is take out the box, set up your console, and you're ready to go.
All you have to do is set it up and you're ready to go. That's not vague at all.
And it doesn't require any hardware upgrades. Let's do the cons of console. Having to pay for membership. PS Plus 1 month is $10, 3 months is $25, and 12 months is $60.
And it really should be no dollars. Like, seriously, how are they still scamming you into paying to play your own games online?
PS Premium 1 month is $18, 3 months is $50, and 12 months is $120, which is really expensive for some premium. Xbox Gold has the same prices as PlayStation Plus, but the only thing they don't have is premium. They have Xbox Unlimited. No mods. You could try to get mods on console, but it can be impossible. Mods make a game more fun and interesting.
I mean, yeah, big agree there that mods make a game more fun and interesting, but is modding console games even a thing nowadays? Like, I know it's possible, I know people do it, but is it even a widespread thing with the current gen consoles like it was in the 7th and I guess kind of the 8th? Like, genuine question, I haven't been following this at all.
Overheating. Depending on your console, it can get loud sometimes, forcing it to turn off your console because it's going to get way too much and it can sometimes slow down your console and stuff like that. Now let's look at the PC Pros. PC Pros is customization. You can have custom RGB in your computer. You can store a lot of solid state drives and hard drives for more storage for your games and videos and music and stuff like that.
That's not exclusive to PC.
And you can have custom keybinds, making games more interesting to play. No need to pay for membership. You don't need to pay for any membership. If you buy a game anywhere, you can get online for free. This means Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, Frozen, anything you get online for free. You don't have to pay for no membership at all, which is a huge advantage of PC.
Wait, are you saying the multiplayer is free, or are you just full sending for the piracy? The way you wrote this video is super unclear, and like, you would think with all those fucking Grammarly ads on YouTube nowadays, this would have been just ironed out of society by now.
You can use any input you want. Most games supports a controller with no problem.
Which is weird to bring up because I distinctly remember earlier in this video you implied controllers don't work on PC. Like, back when you were talking about local multiplayer, you heavily implied you can't use controllers on PC.
Also, for some games, you can use a racing wheel if you want to make games more realistic. Mods. Games like GTA, Minecraft, and driving games can make your mods, making the games even more fun to play and interesting to play.
Well, yeah, those games have good mods, but what about all the others? Like, why did you single out those games when pretty much every major PC release has a modding community, at least to some extent? Even a bunch of non-major game releases have super passionate modding communities. I bring up COD Plutonium every chance I get. That's a mod that basically single-handedly saved Call of Duty on PC, at least the older games.
Fans. Depending on which fans you have for your PC, it cannot make a sound and it cannot get as noisy as you want it to get.
Oh, thanks for the reminder. I've been meaning to get new fans.
Making it for late night gaming. And not having it sound like a jet engine. Also, you can have water cooling PC, which makes your CPU have lower temps, and then it can make your PC run very cooler. You can also have a good fan cooler that also keeps your PC pretty cool. Now let's look at the PC cons. Building a PC, it takes a lot of knowledge to build a PC.
It really doesn't take a lot of knowledge. If you can build Legos, you can build a PC. And I mean that genuinely. If you can buy a Lego set that's ages 10 and up and you can successfully read the instructions and build the whole thing without asking for help, like a man.
In man's country.
I guarantee you that you can successfully build a PC.
It could get really expensive depending on your specs, but right after that, you're going to get confused about what to put together first. I'll just recommend putting your motherboard first and then putting the RAM in.
I'm sorry, did you just recommend putting in the motherboard first? That's literally the only way to do this. Like, that's not a preference thing. You're not building a PC without a motherboard.
Your CPU in, your GPU, putting the motherboard inside and putting your solid state drive and hard drive in.
Wait, why are you putting in the motherboard now? Didn't you say to start with the motherboard?
Then you got to put your power supply in, and then you got to put your motherboard, connect everything inside, and then just pray that your PC will turn on.
No. Okay, look, it's been a minute since I built a PC from scratch, but this is all just no. Just go find Linus Tech Tips. He'll take care of you.
Guys, if your PC don't turn on, then you know you did something wrong. Upgrading hardware. If anything breaks inside your PC or if you don't like it at all, you can upgrade your PC for better parts, but it could take some time to get it to ship and stuff like that. And you got to take apart your PC and you got to put everything back inside together.
That's just literally not true. If you want to upgrade something in your build, you can just take out that one piece and upgrade it most of the time. And then you can sell the old piece. This isn't hard. This isn't uncommon. Where am I?
No resting. You're sitting inside a gaming chair and staring at your screen for a long time, so it's best to get gaming glasses or lighting, or your eyes could be in a lot of trouble. And using your mouse and keyboard could be very repetitive and can lead to your bruises in your arm and hand.
Playing console games can hurt your eyes after a while as well, and using a controller for a long time can also hurt your hands or posture or whatever your point was. This is just fucking dumb. Protect your eyes, take breaks, that's it. Both problems solved.
Not like bad bruises, but it can make your arm and your hand hurt a lot. And the last PC con is cable management. It can be really annoying. Imagine looking at your PC and seeing all those cables inside your PC just randomly being thrown, or like it just looks like really stupid and stuff like that. And then people and like your streams or your videos will be like, bro, what kind of setup is that? All the cable management is just stupid.
Yeah, you know what? I'm with you here. Have some decent cable management, for the love of God. Like, you're not a bad person if you don't have good cable management. You just really kind of suck.
It can be tough placing cables inside your PC, guys. So that's the final PC Pro, not the PC Pro, PC Con. So now to my final conclusion, final result. PC wins with 7 points, with console at 5 points.
I know we won, but I really don't feel like a winner. Like, I don't know what we did to win.
Both have their pros and cons. I think both is great, but PC gaming is overkill. It's totally worth the switch if you have the money. Buy a gaming PC, but research your parts first, guys, because you don't want to buy a bad GPU, and when it comes, well, you don't want to buy a good GPU, then when it comes, you get the wrong GPU, and you're like, oh, why is my game so bad? And you realize because you didn't research your parts.
I don't know what I don't know what to say at this point. I don't know what to say. If you buy a good GPU, it's not going to make your games look bad. Like, why am I even trying anymore?
If you're getting a PC with like a RTX 260 or something, search on YouTube whichever GPU is compared with and just say like RTX with like an Intel Champion, and this will show you games and like the recommended settings for it and like the FPS you're going to get in the game.
Really? That's what I'll see if I search RTX 260? Because that's what you said, RTX 260. That doesn't exist.
So yeah, make sure you research your parts first, guys, before you buy your PC.
Yeah, make sure you research that RTX 260.
And then console is good too. Also with the next gen consoles is a great gift to have for your birthday, anything Christmas. So yeah, guys, if you guys have your opinions, let me know down in the comments. Let me know, guys, what video I should do next. Waffle the fuck Ow!
I'm grinding to the top.
Holy shit, I actually made it to the end of a video for once. I usually tap out of these before the end, but I actually made it this time. I don't know who's still here at this point. I think about that sometimes. Like, I really could say whatever I want at the end of a long video, because the odds that people are still paying attention this far in it's pretty low. Anyways, this was probably the worst thing I've watched in a while. So, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go edit this and go play Dark Souls. I'm exhausted. Toodles.